Bristol city motto is Virtute et Industria, which I suppose really means we work hard and we're virtuous in the bargain. Because we natives do pronounce it Virtute et Industrial. Here's a song about it. Oh, we in Bristol kiddies, we comes from Bristol city, where all the blokes is handsome and all the birds is pretty. We're proud of our own town, it never gets me down, and we got a little motto what we sings up in the town. Oh, Virtute et Industrial, 3 cheers for Rovers Hill. If the city don't win Saturday, perhaps the Rovers will. Virtute et Industrial, shout it to the neighbour. Virtute et Industrial, in city town the labour. How we be living well, fast times is in the distance. We lift it up like hell on national assistance. It ain't if we do sure to do a bit of work, but if we just live without it, well, we'd be such a bird. Oh, Virtute et Industrial, we'd be such sober people. Bristol's like a dirt big church with 1,000 foot glass steeple. Virtute et Industrial, no trunks is ever seen. Virtute et Industrial, well, these knows what I mean. Let progress be our watchword, hooray for all the planners. They keep the traffic going, and never mind the tanners. From Lowgate to Stair, to Paris now the air, for the buses down Old Market, but not to make ye swear. Oh, Virtute et Industrial, card is now much nearer. I'm gonna print me in post in Welsh to make things queerer. Virtute et Industrial, sing not the Yankee law. Virtute et Industrial, what think of me, oh ah. With one-way streets and flyovers, who knows which way you face it? And we've seen our brand new bridge down in Cumberland Basin. The car goes by like thunder, up and round and under. Where they go, no bugger knows, you take no bleeding wonder. Virtute et Industrial, our town will last forever. If we can't build the Concorde, we'll buy it on the never. Virtute et Industrial, who's got 10 million quid? Virtute et Industrial, well, 35th and kid. The best of Bristol luck to the mayor in corporation. He's just come back from France, a credit to the nation. And mining keep it dark, for they went the old town clerk, brought back these studies burgers in exchange for Ashton Park. Oh, Virtute et Industrial, up the downs on Sundays. We spent the rent on Saturdays, down Nelson Street on Mondays. Virtute et Industrial, make Bristol never fail. Virtute et Industrial, till we all out, are not. That fanfare was played by the Bristol City Trumpeters. Oh, wow, we got our own trumpeters, you know. And we got our own county. Oh, yeah, Bristol is a city and county, you know. You see, King Edward III, now he granted Bristol a charter in 1373, making it a county of its own. As a matter of fact, he gave us this as a reward for supplying ships for the war against France. That's what it says in the guidebook, so I suppose it must be right. Aren't them bells lovely? The bells of St Mary Redcliffe Church, they are.
'Tis a beautiful church, I reckon. Not only me reckon either. The first Queen Elizabeth, you know, good Queen Bess, she liked the place too. She said it was the fairest, goodliest, and most famous parish church in England. That's what she said. Let's see what the guidebook says. Dates from 1290. The boy poet Chatterton was born in a house which is still standing directly opposite. Samuel Coleridge and Robert Southey were both married here. Here, this bit's interesting. It says, the church was rebuilt by William Canning the Elder in the 14th century. William Canning the Younger, one of the richest merchants in Bristol, twice Member of Parliament and Mayor of Bristol 5 times, gave up all his worldly possessions in 1467 to be a priest, and he sang his first Mass in St Mary Redcliffe Church. This event, it says here, is commemorated every Whit Sunday by the Rush Sunday service, when they strew the floor of the chancel with rushes in medieval fashion, and the Lord Mayor and Corporation attend the service in full civic dress. If you happen to be walking around the beautiful quiet streets of Clifton and you heard those peacocks, well, you'd probably think, you know, that if you were a stranger, that they was in the garden of some mansion or something. Well, as a matter of fact, they're in the Bristol Zoo. And that cry has become a familiar sound in the air over Clifton for many a long year now. The gardens were opened in 1836 by the Clifton and West of England Zoological Society, so it says in the book. The zoo is now famous all over the world for its skill in breeding animals in captivity. What with its lovely flowers and trees as well, you know, and all that, and the animals, it takes a bit of beating when you compare it with other zoos, I can tell you. Now this, what you're going to hear now, is the opening ceremony of the Pie-Powdered Court. 'Tis really a French name meaning dusty feet, pieds poudrés or something. And in medieval times, they used to settle disputes on fair or market days on the spot. You see, the merchants used to come into this old cattle market on their way into Bristol from the Chippenham London road. So, of course, that's why they had dusty feet by the time they got this far, you see. And if there was any squabbling among them or anything like that, the matter could be sorted out there and then at this court. 'Tis a pity, but they don't hold this ceremony anymore now.
All manners of persons who have anything to do with this court of the Pie Poultry held and kept here this day in the old market, draw near and give your attention.
London have got its Big Ben, but we got our Great George in Bristol. This is the bell in the tower of Bristol University. It's called Great George after Sir George Oatley, who was the architect of the great Gothic tower containing the bell. This tower was completed in 1925, it says in the book, and the opening ceremony was performed by King George V with Queen Mary. That's the sound of a ship on the River Avon as it passes under the Clifton Suspension Bridge. Of course, if they close the city docks, all the big merchant ships won't come any further in than Avonmouth. So that sound is something you may not hear much longer when you're standing on the suspension bridge. We Bristolians, of course, take this suspension bridge more or less for granted, but strangers come from miles to walk over the bridge or gaze up at it from the road along the gorge 245 feet below. Of course, I expect you know the bridge was designed by Brunel. It's 728 feet long and was completed in 1864, it says in the guidebook. That was after poor old Brunel had died, of course. The iron chains that the bridge is suspended from were originally used in the Hungerford Suspension Bridge over the Thames at Charing Cross in London. This bridge was demolished in 1861 and the chains were brought here for the Clifton Suspension Bridge. Over the front porch of Christ Church in Broad Street, in the very heart of Bristol, you'll see the quarter-jacks. They're two mechanical men put there in the 18th century, and every quarter of an hour they strike the bells over the clock. The poet Robert Southey who was born in nearby Wine Street and was baptised in Christchurch, often used to stop and see and hear these figures strike the quarter hours. Funny thing about it is the Corporation of Bristol loans the quarter jacks to the church for £0.50 a year.